Namaste. Again, I'm very grateful to connect with you wherever you are on this planet. Thank you for being. Thank you for existing on this plane of existence. But on this video, I'm going to talk about the other planes of existence. More specifically, the astral planes and my experiences with astral projection. I see the astral planes. Note, I said planes, like there are many of them, are non-physical, yet they are right here, they are here, all dimensions are here, right now. And shifting dimensions is like shifting radio channels. This dimension that we are in right now is the most dense dimension out there. At least from what I know, I can't really imagine. Like this 3D it's the physical plane. Everywhere everything is energy, but here it takes time to manifest. Plane of time, linear time. It's not linear. Like when we look at it from this higher perspective, time doesn't even exist. It's an illusion. All is now, but we are experiencing it in a linear way in this dimension. Astral projection is projecting your consciousness out of your body into another dimension, more specifically the astral plane, the astral dimensions. And we all have an astral body. We have a lot of bodies. Now I'm talking about the astral body, which is like a copy of this one. Or I will share some of my experiences, because when I look at these, dimensions, like I said, this physical one is the lowest sort of, and then they are like lighter and lighter, like less dense dimensions, like this. We are here now. We are here in this physical world. But when we switch a little bit higher into the astral plane of, like the middle astral plane, or let's say like the plane that is very, very close to this one, that's where most of the time I find myself first in. When I astral project, I wake up in a world that's like this, but like everything that exists here exists there. I am lighter, but I'm still very close to this one. Like I can do things, I can do human things. All human, stuff exists there. I can eat, I can even go to the bathroom. I can do any of that, that we can do here, but it's not like physical in the same way, but like everything that exists here exists there. That's kind of like where things are manifesting. When you are in the astral plane, in that astral plane, you sort of see, or you can see, depends on like where you are, but you can see what's like about to manifest on this plane as well, because that's like where everything is like before something manifests here, it's in the astrals. And usually I meditate before I astral project, or like for a long time, because then I calm my body down. My body has to be really peaceful, and I have to be very detached from this world, from this dimension. If I go to bed thinking of this world, like most people go to bed in the evening thinking about their life, thinking about this world, like everything that's going on here, it's very hard to kind of shift into a whole other dimension, because then I would be attached to this one. But if I detach myself from this one by meditating, it's very easy, because I'm already in this peaceful state of mind and my body is peaceful. That's really important. And then you allow your body to fall asleep without falling asleep consciously, like falling unconscious. So basically, you just, usually I recommend laying on your back because that's how it usually happens. I don't think I have ever astral projected when I'm laying on my stomach. I don't know, it's just somehow I have to lay on my back. Some people use all these techniques like, I don't know, rope technique, visualization. I don't usually use any of that. I just observe my body falling asleep. I get this white light on my third eye. Like, I just see white. It's like, or it's going like as if someone would be turning on the lights and off the lights like this. I see like this kind of white light here. And I'm still remaining conscious all the time. Like, the key is to observe everything that's happening without being attached to it. Like, I used to fail at astral projection when I was thinking about what's happening. Now I'm just surrendering. I'm surrendering to this natural thing because I acknowledge like astral projection is very, very natural. I'm in that white cloud, and when I'm there, I hear a ton of these weird squeaking noises, like these really like zzz. I don't know how to describe them, but I hear all these crazy noises, and I'm like I feel my body might be in a sleep paralysis. Like, I might be even like vibrating in this way. Like, I might be moving physically. If someone would be observing that happening, I might be like but yeah, basically I'm lifting up from my body. So when I am in that white cloud, the only thing that I'm thinking of is rising up, rising up, rising up. And I feel it. I start feeling it. I start feeling my body separate from my physical body. And there, I find myself in another dimension. I look the same, but I think maybe I'm a little bit lighter. Like, I don't look as, I don't look as physical. I'm lighter. Yet it's like a copy, like the body is like a copy of this one. And when I'm there, everything looks quite the same. And this is the plane where I have also met one of my friends. You know who you are. You know, in this physical world, when you get super, super high, you feel like everything, it's like a dream. You know, it feels the same in the astral plane that I'm talking about now. Like, it feels as if it was this, it's hard to tell the difference if it's like the physical or that astral plane. And on that astral plane, I have met some beings. Like, last week I met my great-grandmother. I talked with her for a bit, and she was like holding my hand. And it was right when I was like, that one night I was like switching dimensions like this. So I was in my physical body, then I was in my astral body. I was in my physical body, I was in my astral body. It was a bit like, I felt like there were so many beings next to me, like near me. So many beings, like this many beings. They're like looking at me, switching up and like back and forth between dimensions. They're looking at me. And there's this familiar energy. That's my great-grandmother. I recognize that energy. And she told me that. She told me she's my great-grandmother. And she was holding my hand, and I actually saw it. When I was switching into the astral, I saw this, like, she was holding my hand, like someone is, and she was sort of like helping me kind of like pull me out of my body. I felt like that. Like, she was sort of helping me switch into, to the astral plane. But when I was going back and forth between dimensions like this, I was physically having a sleep paralysis, and my hand was like moving like this, my leg was probably moving like this, and I'm like switching like back and forth. It was a pretty interesting experience. But then I finally lift up in the astrals fully, so I am not anymore in this physical like I'm not going back and forth anymore. I am in the astral world, and yeah, then I just go around and do things. I don't remember everything that I did, but I remember that I was accessing so much more than I'm accessing here. Like when I wake up here, I mean, I didn't remember, like I sort of already forgot about this lifetime, this dimension, let's say. I was there living in the astral plane. I felt like I was there for days, but I was there just for like 3 hours maybe when my body was sleeping. But that's the same plane where I have met some other beings as well. I was just remembering, I have met like beings that are not humans, you know. I remember this one time I met this being. This being that's like so familiar to me. I cannot put into words how familiar she is to me. And I felt like she came to see me. And I could just cry. Like when I woke up from that, I was like crying and crying. But like, yeah, basically the same thing happened. Like I was laying on my bed, I went through the white portal and I lifted up and I was walking here, and then I saw her here. She was like, we were right there behind that door. I don't know, you don't see the door, but we were there, like we were like sitting there and we were communicating. We were not communicating in words, we were communicating telepathically, which is the way that I communicate the most with, you know, especially with like extraterrestrials. She was definitely an extraterrestrial. So am I, although I'm in a human form. I spent like a whole day. It's not like there is time in that dimension, but I spent like a whole day with her, and we were flying around. It was a very bright astral plane. It was a really high astral plane because we were not doing like human stuff. We were still in this earth, like on this planet, but we were like very, very, very high. And that's why I woke up crying and crying and crying, because that was so kind of indescribable. Those beings are there right now, like here. Like those that I could call like my friends, my family members. How to put it into words, I don't know. I'm trying to put all this astral stuff into words. I'm like a translator. But yeah, so astral projection has happened so many times now. And before, like I said, I used to have trouble with it. Like I first heard about astral projection last year, like 2017. And I was like, okay, next year I'm gonna learn this. And I started practicing it. But for a lot of times I only ended up in the vibrational state. I didn't go further from that. I didn't really switch dimensions, but I was already halfway, let's say. And then I just sort of like let go of that need to astral project. And I mean, because I think the biggest thing that was holding me back was my mind, because I was still thinking too much. The way to astral project is to quit thinking. Allow your mind to be just silent. Don't be attached to this world, and you will be very fluently switching dimensions. Just like a couple of weeks after letting go of the need to learn it, the need to actually, like, this crazy, because I was attached to astral projection then. Like, I was attached to the outcome, like, oh, I need to go into the astrals. And because it was such an important thing to me, I couldn't do it. Only when I allowed to, be fine either way, whether or not I astral project, it's okay. And that's, by the way, how everything works in this dimension, like, as well. If we want something too much, we're too attached to it, we won't get it. But when we release the crazy attachment and allow things to go, like just trust and allow things to go anyway, either way, that's when things actually start to happen. That's when we're actually manifesting. Like, you don't want to be too attached to anything. But yeah, back to astral projection. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments section and share your experiences. But really, it's a natural thing that I believe we will all start to experience sooner or later. For you, like every time I wake up from the astrals, I feel like, you know, it's such a, I'm so grateful to be on this plane. And I feel like if you ever feel, for example, sort of fed up with humanity, or if you feel depressed or anything, just go into the astrals for a while and then come back. It's okay. You don't need to be on this physical plane all the time. You can go into the astrals, you can go into other worlds and then come back, because that's perfectly your right. You are not trapped here. You are not in prison in this dimension. This is just one dimension, and you are perfectly allowed to travel the multiverse. You're perfectly allowed to explore other worlds as well. Even if you are having a physical body in this world, yes, you can maintain the physical body, but you can go elsewhere as well. Also, about astral projection, you really only want to do it when you're vibrating high, because that way you will find yourself in the, you know, high vibrational astral planes. There are many different astral planes. Like I said, like da 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 da, they are like different densities also in the astrals, and usually from that, yeah, from that plane that I talked about, I usually go higher, much, much, much higher in planes. Like I astral project in that plane that I am in higher, into a higher plane, the same way, through my third eye. I might even go much, 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 much higher, and usually when I wake up here, I only remember the, you know, the lower astral plane where I've been in, because it's very close to this one. So most of the time I remember how I have, yeah, how I've been doing like more human stuff there, and meeting like deceased loved ones, like my grandmother or my grandfather. I have met him as well, and it's very like, yeah, it's more like down to earth plane. In the highest astral planes, like it's purely heaven, you know. You are meeting high vibrational beings. You are really like, it's very bright, everything is really bright, all colors are really, really bright. Because in the lower astral planes it's very dark. It's like you are there and there is like, like, yeah, it's very dark. It's like a night. In the highest astral planes it's like super bright, and in the middle astral planes it's a bit dim, or it's like evening, day, not evening, afternoon, I don't know, but it's not like dark. So that's also how you know on which astral plane you are in. Like, how dark is it? How bright is it? But yeah, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Explore it yourself. You can trust that you can do it. I tell you, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. That's the first thing you gotta do. Like, trust that it's possible. You have to open up the possibility for, you know, traveling other dimensions. You have to be open to it. You have to believe in it fully, because otherwise you won't experience it. Because the only thing to block you from astral projecting is your own mind, is your belief system. If it's not possible for you, it's not going to be possible for you. So that's the thing. That's why like I said, I love to meditate before astral projection, because then it's like your mind is purely calm and silent, and yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And also I wanted to mention, if you ever heard about like DMT trips and stuff like that, that's also a way to end up in the astral plane, or in some astral plane. Because again, like, there are like so many astral planes. I mean, I look at it, but you can travel them, explore those planes. But yeah, like when you do some psychedelics, it's very easy to astral project. So in that way, it's like, yeah, it's really, you're like kind of activating that ability in you. And also, if you have done it Maybe then afterwards it will be easier for you to do it even without that. It's so fascinating, but all I want to say now, discover your potential. Discover your potential, discover your potential, because you truly have so much potential in you. Astral projection is just one ability that you can activate in you. You are a multidimensional being having a human experience. Expand.